Arabia announced that they were going to invest $1 billion in Richard Branson's space tourism and satellite launching venture. Although most details weren't announced, Saudi Arabia made a press release claiming that although they were seeking a significant stake in Virgin Atlantic LLC, um, Branson basically had their full vote of confidence to become kind of the play caller from now on, with their full investment for the future. And overall, this is huge for Virgin Atlantic because in 2014, if you can remember, they had a pretty bad flight test tragedy that killed their pilot and a co-pilot. And it was as they were kind of hyping up their effort to put people into space. And at the time, it was just a pretty overall bad look for the company. So, following the test flight tragedy, Mr. Branson's management team was pretty much forced to suspend operations and reassess, like manufacturing, safety, and other test flight procedures. The company's rocket-propelled spacecraft, intended to briefly take tourists to the edge of space before landing like a conventional plane, hasn't conducted any other powered like flights since that crash, but has done some limited altitude test flights using rocket propulsion, and they're expected to resume shortly because of this investment. Virgin Galactic's founder has been working pretty much since 2004 to make good on like promises to carry passengers into like weightlessness, as he calls it, or kind of the outer limit of the space, for 250 grand each. And in addition to offering these rides for a new category of well-heeled space passengers, Mr. Branson envisions launching like smaller satellites into orbit using pretty much rocket ships released into midair from specially outfitted Boeing 747s. Virgin Galactic's rivals include separate space transportation companies run by billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. Interestingly enough, Elon Musk's SpaceX expects to start transporting astronauts to the International Space Station sometime next year, around the same time that Branson wants to as well, which is roughly the same exact timeline as Blue Origin LLC, which is the company founded by Jeff Bezos. Abu Dhabi's Abar Investments Group made an initial investment of $300 million in Virgin Galactic before the accident, which kind of devastated the company's plans. And after the crash, according to industry officials, the same group offered to increase its financial exposure in exchange for an increased stake. So again, they haven't announced much about the stake, but it's definitely bigger than the last time or larger, which is kind of interesting that they're giving Branson full autonomy to invest it, how they want. But again, over the years, both sides kind of have declined to comment on the substance of those discussions as well.